I got to hit record. All right, here we go. We're going to get started. Again, I apologize if you're watching the recording of this. We had some technical issues this week on our pro call. So it's recorded, though, as normal, and it'll be up in your back office to review. And obviously, if you're listening to this, that's where it's at probably. So let's hope that's where it's at. All right, bright and sunny here. Thanks, Aaron. All right, so we're going to get going. I'm going to, let's go show my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Okay. And then the other question is what do you see? I have a dual screen. I don't know if you could see. Can you see my Facebook page, or do you just see the PowerPoint presentation? All right, so you don't see my Facebook. Okay, great. Then I can pull over the Facebook when we need it. Awesome. Well, let's get going with just the slides then right now. And then what I want to do is, the rest of the call, I'm going to actually breeze through the format of this again. And I have a feeling I've got to unplug this here. I'm sorry, guys. I had my other computer hooked up and lined up and ready to do this call today. And I thought it was that computer, but it actually wasn't that computer. It was just an issue with that specific webinar. So you might see my screen. I don't know if you see it blue or not, but I am going to a single screen now so I can get into this content. Okay. Well, welcome to the call. If you're joining us as I'm talking again, I apologize for the technical difficulties, but if you're watching the recording, again, apologize, but we're going to have some good content today and get right into it. Okay, just to go over again real briefly, since this is only our second Profit Hub Pro call, just the format, and I'm going to you can see it on the screen, 0 to 15 minutes, new idea strategy, Q&A, site reviews, and then Q&A. Again, this call is designed to be all about your business and helping you grow your business. So I'm setting up my other computer beside me I have all the different questions on from the week so I can go through those. I apologize, I'm launching that on another screen right now. And again, I had this set up to go, and then none of us could get on. So that happens sometimes. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to get the questions in front of me for later in the call. And for whatever reason. If you've ever seen my desk, you see I have a lot of computers on it. All right, I got one up and running. And I apologize. Bear with me one moment. I just want to get this other screen up for me. And it's still not there. But let's just get going with the content then. Okay, what I want to talk about in this week is if you've been watching your computer, which you probably have, you've probably seen some stuff going on. We launched something called the 30-Day Challenge last week, and we're closing it this week. So there's been some things I've been doing in marketing that I wanted to share with you. So whether you have your own product or you can apply this if you're just an affiliate to somebody, there was a Ryan Deiss product, a Kindle product, and we're going to be coming out with some stuff we're doing with his product in the next few weeks. Matt has been working diligently on that. But there's some things we did to finish actually in the top 5 of his last launch, and it earned us like a MacBook Pro and some pretty cool stuff like that. But as an affiliate, these are the same types of strategies I applied to promote him. It's the same type of strategies I use to promote offers from different affiliate networks, different anything I'm promoting, basically. So these are the same. Again, what I'm going to go through is just strategies I want to show you specifically for what I'm doing on this launch. And the reason I want to do it is because I'm right in the middle of it right now. And these calls, again, are about what am I doing? It's about helping you. Yes, that's the number one thing. But I also want to be focused on sharing what I'm doing in my business right now, or different businesses that we have. We've got 4 companies here and different things that we're doing in each of them to help you in growing your business and showing you how, the strategies that you hear about in Profit Hub or in the book or Reverse Online Profits are things that I use in multiple companies, not just with training, which is what you're a part of right now. So let's get into it. So this has to do with if you have a list. So part of the 30-day challenge is, we're teaching you how to build a list, how to grow your own list. And really, that's what a lot of what I do actually in every company I do. I'm always building databases because I've learned a valuable lesson years ago, which was I was in a company where I was growing it. I was licensing the products from a company, and I was growing that company, and I was getting paid commissions on it. This was about 15 years ago. But what happened is I didn't own the database of all those people. I didn't own the database of what I was building. So I was actually focused on building somebody else's company, which can be good for a season, and there's benefits to that. But I learned something that if I own the list, if I build a list and I promote other products in the back end, if I build a brand around myself or whatever it might be, whatever niche I'm in, then I own an asset. And with where I'm at and with where I would be if I was just getting started in business is focused on long-term strategies to develop assets, not just okay, here's some strategy about what worked for this guy to make $1,000 last week. I'll use it. Great. I made $1,000, but it doesn't work a week from now, or it doesn't work 2 weeks from now. I spent a lot of time where I would do those quick pops, quick hits, and that type of thing. But that just really wasted a lot of time. When I started to focus on long-term strategies about, finding niches I could grow in long-term, finding niches that, yes, maybe it would take me a while to get the exact niches right. Some of them are more profitable than others. Some have more traffic than others, all that type of stuff. But identifying core niches that I could be in for long-term gain and really to develop assets as I'm developing my list or as I'm developing traffic. I think I see traffic as an asset as well, setting up different streams of traffic. Because one of the things I've found with traffic is sometimes I'll get traffic that works on a specific offer. But so let's say I'm promoting it. This is a case that happened with me a few years ago. I used to do a lot of education leads. So people like ITT Tech Institute, DeVry Institute, Phoenix, University of Phoenix, those types of things. I did a lot of online traffic, and I had a really good relationship with one of the larger education offers online, and we did a lot of traffic. And what happened is the offer started to change. So what happened is I had all this traffic that I knew made money, but the offer changed to where it wasn't profitable for me anymore. So a lot of times in the past, what I might have done is say, okay, great, that was a great season. I made money with that, but it's over. Well, no, what I've learned is that once I find traffic that makes money, I could go find some other type of education offer or some other type of offer to fit into that funnel of traffic, and it started to make money again. So anyway, so that's why I see traffic as an asset. I see your list as an asset as well. But so for this week's example, I'm talking about hitting your list from many directions. And what I mean by hitting your list is when you're promoting something. And this is for an internal launch. We launched 30-day challenge. We haven't pushed it with like major affiliates or anything at this time. It's just been an internal launch with just our list, and our list actually for just for Profit Hub, actually just hitting our list there and working with them and promoting the 30-day launch. So there's several ways we've been doing this. We've been using Facebook, emails. You may have seen emails, direct mail, retargeting, aka some of you may feel like I've been stalking you, where there'll actually be ads of me showing up when you're on CNN.com or FoxNews.com or wherever you go. Even within Facebook, there's retargeting, and all that is basically you can continue to show an ad to somebody who's been on your site. Really, I think we have a frequency cap of 3 or 5 or something, up to 3 to 5 times a day on different sites using retargeting. I'm not going to talk about that this week, but it's a pretty powerful strategy, and you've probably seen it online. I know I've got a trip coming up, and I was on Westin site, and then all of a sudden I go to another website, and I start seeing Westin banners all over the place. I see I was on an email provider's website yesterday, and so today I saw, I think it was called SendGrid or something like that. I see their banners all over the place. That's called retargeting. So it can also seem kind of weird sometimes. I've been on some sites where it's like every piece of the page is this person's banner or somebody kind of stalking me. So that's part of an internal launch. And your phone, picking up your phone. Right now, David isn't on this webinar because he's on the phone talking to people who are qualified people for the 30-day challenge. We have been focused on some outbound sales activities there. So here's the thing. A lot of times we get so, you want to focus on getting good at one traffic source and getting good at one thing on the internet, but you also want to remember there's a lot of ways to communicate to your clients. I say list, it's really our clients. And today I'm going to focus on what I've been doing on Facebook. Next week, I'm going to go into some of these other strategies. I wanted to just show you, though, as we were approaching this launch, what are some of the things we did to help optimize our launch. So I did some cool stuff on Facebook the last week, and it's actually going on even right now, that has helped to make this really a really exciting launch for us with the 30-day challenge. So anyway, let's get into it. So with Facebook ads, you want to use Google Chrome. Again, what I recommend is just, if you've never done Facebook ads, I don't know where you're at in your business. This, again, can be something you can reference back later. Facebook ads are really easy to create, and I need to create, let me write a note. I need to create just a video just showing you how to create an ad. It's real simple. If you just go click on the big green button in the upper right-hand corner that says Create Ads, after you click on Manage Ads from your Facebook, kind of your nav menu, I'm not a big Facebook person, so you being in Profit Hub Pro, talking to me on our pro group, that's the only place you're going to see me on Facebook, is right there. So if you've requested to be a friend of me or anything like that, don't take it personally. I just don't even, I'm not on Facebook, except I'm looking at my ads, or I'm actually talking to you right where you're at. So you're going to talk to me a lot more where you're at than you would any other place. So, but use Google Chrome to browse. I'll show you that in a second. And you want to use something when you're in Facebook ads called Power Editor. Again, I'm going to have I'll show you this in a second. I had it set up on my other computer, so I'm just going to show you screenshots of, or we'll walk through it here. I don't have it all set up on this computer. You're going to use something called Custom Audiences, and I'll show you what this means, basically. Basically, what it's allowing you to do, Facebook has this function, which is pretty killer, where you can actually upload your list of your list. So if you've got a list in the weight loss industry, if you have a list in the home business industry, if you have a list in you're in a karate niche, you have some customers. Whether, let's say I'm local here in my hometown, let's say there's a San Antonio karate school, and I'm helping to market them. If they're building a list, which I would be teaching them to do, they could advertise to just their list on Facebook. And how this works is you go into, this is me on Chrome, and on the left-hand side, there's something called Custom Audiences. And you click on this thing called Create Audience. What it allows you to do then is just upload a spreadsheet. And if you go into Get Response, you can, if you're building a list there, you can actually export, without being too techy, your contacts. And you simply, it's just a file, and then you come over to Facebook and you click Create Audience, and it allows you to upload it. So for us, what that means is I can advertise just to the people on my list. Okay, there's some benefits to this. We'll go into it in a second, but let me show you what I did specifically. I created one post. We talked about this on last week's pro call. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that yet, I'd advise you to go watch that. It's some advanced Facebook marketing, but basically just creating a post. I'm going to show you the exact post I did, and I've used that same post throughout my launch. So here's the post. All I did was share a photo. Let's look at this one actually for right now. I shared a photo of me, and that's not an ego thing, as I'll show you in a second. It's because of the brand. I'm advertising to my list, right? So this list happens to know me as Jeff Usner. That's my picture. That's familiar to the list of people I've built in this market, right? If I had a weight loss niche and my product was called super duper weight loss product, whatever, and there was a picture, there was whatever my brand was, the image that I'm driving with that image is what I would use in my Facebook post, because I'm advertising this only to my list. And if you actually see this down here, it shows 4,021 people have seen this post. Here's the thing about your list is what Facebook tries to do is they try to match up the email addresses from your, let's say it's, in this case, I'll show you an example in a second. In my other business, how we use this, it was a CSV file, a downloaded file of email addresses, and it tries to match them up with people's Facebook accounts. So you're only advertising to people who have their email address set up with the same email address as Facebook, which can be a high percentage. It just depends on what your users, where, if they're on Facebook much. So with this type of niche, it has to be a pretty decent percentage. And you can see the date here too. I wanted to point that out. February 9th, I set up this post. Where, again, the reason I set it up in February 9th is I actually started to do something. I don't have a picture of everything that I was doing with this. Let me see what the next picture is. No. Okay, let me go back here. what I started is I just created a post. And again, with these types of photos, that's what the ad looks like, by the way. Right now, the ad says closing. Did you miss this? Because we're closing it. But guess what it said before I opened it? I did like a countdown. I said, like, I can't remember if I started just 3 or 4 days before we opened the 30-day challenge to the public. I did something, and all you do is, whoops, all you do is click edit on a photo, and you can change the text that goes here. So what I did is I started to advertise this just to my list. Now I do advertising outside of my list, but I'll show you the reason I did this. And you can use this in other verticals. This happens to be an example of, with 30-day challenge, which we just launched. But I can use this in my affiliate stuff that I do with the list that we grow. I'm testing things right now with this as well. I believe it's going to work really well. But what you can do is I would click edit, and it would say, when I first posted this, it said 3 days from now, an exciting announcement. 2 days from now, and I started to do like a countdown. It's like the Dick Clark New Year's Eve countdown. 2 days from now, exciting announcement coming. Watch for your email. And here's the thing. This ad showed up in front of people on my list. I didn't really care if they even clicked on my ad. What I was trying to do initially was just to get my ad in front of them so that they'd be watching for my email, because I wanted to drive my open percentage up a lot. I wanted to drive my clicks and my opens up, because if people open up my email, if twice as many people open up my email, I'm probably going to make twice as much money. It's one of the easiest ways to double your business as you start to grow a list. So what I started to do was kind of pepper my list, I guess. I was kind of getting it ready, preparing it for what was coming. And now, if you've seen this ad, probably a lot of you on this have seen this ad. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the verbiage continues to change. So now it's saying closing. I'll change this to final notice here, actually, when we get off of this call. So you'll probably see it. And now, actually, I asked you guys to add some comments here, and we've got some great testimonials on this post now. And I've actually started to promote this now outside of just my list. I'm actually promoting this to specific markets, because we've got some momentum going. Not just any random markets. They're markets I've actually advertised my book to as well. And when I like people who had precise interests in certain things, internet marketing or stuff like that. All right, so let me show you. Here's a screenshot. This is yesterday. I just pulled this. So this ad targeted 9,000 people, and they were on my list. Again, these are lists that I uploaded so that they would know that this is coming. And here's the thing: as an affiliate, this actually benefits you, because one of the lists I uploaded was the list of people who affiliates are generating a list, into our database. And here's the thing: our tracking system works to where it doesn't matter if they click through my ad right here, the affiliate actually gets paid. So I'm actually helping affiliates to actually make more money as well. But you could see yesterday, and I cut off my cost per click. I believe it's 10 cents over here. But I got 148 clicks from my list, which I didn't really care as much about the clicks. That's great. A 10% click-through rate right here is very high for Facebook. In fact, it's obscene. And my cost per click was very low. I spent $20 and had 183 clicks on. I have some other ads below this one. You can't see it right now. But I had my costs at 10 cents a click yesterday, and today I'm driving it down even further. So I'm paying for people to come from my list to my offer right now. And this could be, again, any industry, any niche, any offer. You could do this on a localized basis. You could do it on a global basis. So if I had a list of people for my local pizza shop, if I wanted to help my local pizza shop friend market his company, this is a pretty killer strategy that probably less than 0.5% would even know this exists. You're advertising just to your audience. In other words, you might think that you're seeing my ads a lot and that I'm advertising a lot to everybody, but no, what I'm doing is I'm putting myself in front of you because you're on my list right now. I'm trying to specifically focus on you right now, the person that's already on my list, who already knows who I am. So I'm marketing to my list. I'm using my face. I talked about this before. It's not an ego thing. Brand recognition. I'm getting people to open up my email, so my open rates are higher. I'm also getting the benefit of people clicking through to the page and actually generating sales, which I wasn't even trying to do that. But what's happening is, here's the problem with email. It's very hard to get your email through to people as you start to grow a list, whether you're using GetResponse or Aweber, or you're using some autoresponder service, iContact, Constant Contact. There's a lot of them out there, and we've tried, believe me, MailChimp, I think almost everything out there. We have our own servers, all that type of stuff. But it doesn't matter. Email is still really hard to get through to people. Even I believe when I send emails to my mom, they wind up in her spam filter sometimes. I know I get family stuff that winds up in my spam filter. So I think you understand that. So a beautiful way to keep in front of your people without them ever having to go to their email box is through Facebook. Upload your list to Facebook and advertise to them on Facebook. Because guess where they're at? Most people, at least an hour a day, they're on Facebook. So they're going to see your ad at some point and probably either click through, or it's just going to put it in their mind that, hey, especially if my ad said, hey, watch for your email, in the next 2 days, in the next 3 days, and today's the day, watch your email list. What does that do to you? It makes you watch your email list. Whether you want to or not, it's in the back of your mind. So here's some of the benefits of Facebook. And again, this is the first part of this product launch. This could be applied again to any market. And it could create new opt-ins. In other words, I actually have created new opt-ins because what's happening is people share this. In fact, when I showed you the example of the ad back a few slides, this is because somebody else likes it. So all of her friends actually potentially can see this ad as well. So that's another benefit as well. Let me go back here. It increased my email open rates and responsiveness. Generates clicks to your offer, whatever your offer is. You get through to your list right where they are. In other words, the easiest, it's kind of a simple marketing tactic, but I think I talk about it's one of the 3 millionaire marketing secrets in my book, is find out where your crowd is and just get in front of them. It's really that easy. I found thinking through it much more than that gets complicated and doesn't make money. So if my audience is on Facebook and I can upload their email address and only advertise to them on Facebook, guess what? I'm getting in front of where they are. If they're on there an hour a day or throughout the day, they're going to see me and they're going to click through and see what I have to offer. I already talked about emails don't always get through. It's hard to do. And Facebook, they're on there. Some are going to share and generate more buzz. Another real cool tool, and this is meant to be just like a 15-minute blurb here as we did this today. Facebook has this thing called Conversion Tracker. So when you're logged into Facebook ads, if you're familiar with the left-hand side, I did a close-up so you could see it. If we were back in my, let's go back to this screen. Well, it would be up here in the upper left-hand corner. I didn't take a full screenshot. I apologize. On my other computer, I had this set up. But they have this thing called conversion tracking, and what this does, and my image is too small. What this does is you set up conversion tracking, and you could put this on your pages using OptimizePress. It's just one of those, same place where you put Clicky, or you would put Visual Website Optimizer. I believe in the exact same place is the same place you would put the conversion tracking. You would just get this piece of code that you copy and paste into your website, and what happens is, with this one, we had 65 clicks and generated 35 leads as an example. It actually reports back to me what's converting, what ad is converting, what am I doing with my ad that's converting. So this is a great thing. You can get feedback on your advertising, just like you can with Bing, where I showed you how to set up tracking so that you can see, this keyword generated this many conversions. The same thing's there on Facebook. And I've spent a lot of money on Facebook in my life. And one of the hardest things to do was to track what was converting. In other words, on Facebook, you can target specific likes, specific areas. You can target demographics. So if I want to only advertise to men who are 32, who are married, I could advertise just to them, who like Jeff Usner, who like some, Ryan Dice, or who like knitting, whatever. I could target that person and I could see I'm getting clicks. But up until recently, this conversion tracker it's been very hard to actually track what the conversions came back through, especially to a non-techie person like me. See, I can copy and paste things. So similar, like if you're in the 30-day challenge, or if you've done that, if you haven't, it's like Google Analytics, it's like Get Clicky, or Clicky now is what they're called. Same thing. It's basically just a piece of code. You copy and paste it to your site. And whenever anybody comes there, it talks back to Facebook and it says, hey, it just generated a lead. So out of this thing, we had 65 clicks, 35 leads. So it's a great tool to use in Facebook. And when I'm advertising on Facebook, there's other things you could do. We could advertise just to people who open our emails. And to buyers. In other words, I ran an ad specifically just to take this idea a little further. I advertised to my email list of people who've ever bought something. The other thing you could do is advertise to people who just have opened your emails. And how you find this out is you go to Get Response, and I'll show you an example of this. here's one that I did recently. I sent it out on February 11th, and it had a 75.76 open rate, a 28.18 click-through rate on an email. And 3 says there's a 0 complaint rate. That's really nice to get too, by the way, when you're sending emails. And here's how I did it. I went to a previous email that I'd sent, and I did what it shows right here, number 4. So like right now, I sent this email to 661 people. 500 of the 661 opened. That's ridiculous. That's a huge open rate. And I gave them an interesting headline, etc. And I could test that. But what all you would do, like if you're in GetResponse and you've been starting to send emails, you would just go to the stats, right? And you just click on your stats. You'll see this screen. I think it just defaults to this screen actually. And you could click on this link down here and you could email just the people who opened this email. So in other words, if I did this, I had to send an email, I think just a few days earlier, where it was like, here's what's coming. It was like more of a coming announcement, like this new product's coming. I didn't have a link in it. I just wanted people to open it because I knew if they opened it, they would be somewhat interested in what I was about to promote. So then what I did is I went back to that email, and I apologize. I can't see the screen on this right now. But if you've been in GetResponse, you know this, you're under stats. You just click on this and you can choose your email. I'd sent an email just a few days earlier that said, hey, there's something exciting coming. And 661 people opened that email. Okay, so then what I did is I went and I clicked on emailing the group of people who opened. I hope this makes sense. And I just said, hey, button line, you're the first ones I'm going to let into this new 30-day challenge. And what happened is we had a huge open rate on emails. If you started to send emails, this is a pretty high open rate, by the way. I was just at an internet marketing conference in January. Might have been actually it was the beginning of February with about 2,000 people there. And they said from stage, if you get an open rate, I think it was like even 10%, you're doing really good. So 75.76 is like really good. So that's a good open rate. And that's just a trick I wanted to show you. You can basically, as you start to build a list, I'm going to talk a lot more about email next week too, and going back into some of the strategies I taught in the 30-day challenge. I've taught in ROP, things like that. But this is some newer stuff that I've just been doing. I wanted to share with you. But it's powerful. You just start segmenting who you're marketing to and the results you get. And of these people that click through, it resulted in a lot of sales as well, because they'd seen my ads. They'd seen, I'm just kind of peppering the list. So when I actually sent out an email, huge response rate. So you think it would work on Facebook. All right. Here's another. We use this exact same strategy on Facebook for one of my companies. Leadstore.com is one of my companies. And one of the segments of that is called Earn Pro Leads, is one of our clients. And we ran an ad of a video. We actually are running it right now to our list. We uploaded our list again, and this ad generated close to $2,500 for us. Running an ad with a funny video. By the way, I found that funny really works on Facebook. If you haven't seen this video, it's pretty funny. I could show it to you maybe at the end of the call. David's a good dancer. But I used the exact same strategies. I just wanted to show you another example of it. I used the exact same strategies I just went through in this whole segment I just shared with you. I did the post thing. We upload our list, and we start showing this ad to people who are on our list, and it got a lot of response. Again, it's just a different vertical, a different market, a different company. I could show you that we use this exact same strategy. So, all right, more on email next week. That was my new kind of stuff for this week, which I thought is pretty cool. And there's some other stuff going on. I want to go back to the first slide again. Next week, I'm going to get more into email. I'm going to talk more about these other aspects of things that you can do to grow your business with whatever you're doing in whatever markets. So, all right. All right, what I want to do now is just kind of open it up. Great, we've got more people here now. Do you all have any questions on what I just went through? And again, you can rewatch this. You'll see in the pro section. And here's another key or thing I want to make sure you understand is concepts are big, right? Understanding the concepts that we're teaching and applying them across different things. So just advertising to my opens like I did I sent one email to just people who had opened an email I sent a few days, before. I want you to think of that concept. How do you market to people who have been the most responsive? That's where easy marketing starts to happen to you. You can use that in email. You can use that when you're doing search. You can use that when you're doing Facebook ads. You can use that when you're doing banner retargeting, buying media, emailing your list. All that type of stuff is types of things that you can do. So are there any questions on the material I just covered? I wanted to give a little time to answer any of that. I don't see any questions. If you have them, let me open this. Type them into the question area. Or raise your hand too if you want to talk, by the way. And then I'm going to move on to other Q&A. Okay, no questions that I see right now. And if you're not doing a whole lot of Facebook yet, don't worry about it. Come back, watch this video. Let's see. All right, great stuff. Sorry, I'm looking at who do we have on. Hopefully a bunch of you have been able to get on here. Do we have any? Okay, let's get into, let me pull up questions I got this week. And then I want to see if you're on the call or not. Actually, I have a couple of site reviews. I wish you were on the call so I could do them with you. Hold on, let me look who's here with me. Is Paul Pearson on with me? If you are, can you raise your hand on your webinar thing? Because some of the people are not coming through to me, and I don't know why that is. Somebody else says their hand raised. There's showing me a lot of Jeff Usner's logged in, which isn't actually accurate. So maybe that's because I gave away the wrong meeting. Paul Pearson. Paul Thompson has, I can go through your site review too. That would be great. We've had lots of nice technical difficulties. Okay, you say I am here, but what I see on my side is a lot of Jeff Usner's, which is really weird. I'm going to try to unmute you. Paul, are you there? You're unmuted right now.
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Awesome, I can. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry for all the technical issues.
Hey, no problem. It happens.
Yeah, how's life for you?
Good. How are things going?
Good. Let me get your website up here.
There's a video that starts right away there too, so watch your speaker sound there.
Okay. Your site's looking good. Let's get this up. Oh, and then I got my.
It's not on the screen here yet. It's not on my computer. There we go.
It should be.
There it is.
All right. Your site's looking good.
Thank you. There's some blank spots on there because I'm waiting for my Google AdSense account to get all processed, so that's just blank code at the moment.
That's what's going to go right here?
Correct.
Awesome. All right, so let me ask you this. I'm going to mute you so I don't hear myself. I'll be right back with you, but I've got you right here. When I'm talking, Paul, it's speaking back in my ear. So I'm just going to mute you till I ask the question, then I'll let you answer, and then we'll make it work. How are you getting traffic to your site right now?
I'm muted.
Most of it is, well, I suppose a lot of it's word of mouth because it's local here, but then there are key search words people are searching for regarding karate, and then our particular style of karate and stuff. It comes up that way.
Okay, so the main way you're marketing is local word of mouth.
Correct.
Great. And the opt-in here, how to deal with bullies, is that, how did you come up with that?
Well, it's obviously a prevalent problem nationwide, so my wife and I were just talking about something that we could do to just offer to people. So I filmed those down. They're about 5-6 minutes long. I'm going to kind of re-edit them because it's me talking and so forth. I need to put some text in there to make it a little more um, visually pleasing to watch. And then those are set up on a Get Response account that are sent
Awesome.
out every couple days.
No, I really like the topic. I love the headline. Your site is looking good though. What is the? I'm gonna mute you again in a second. What's the number one reason that your current clientele signed up to be in business with you?
Number one reason, I suppose it's that top header line right there, that character and confidence. Families come in, a lot of parents come in, and they want to have confidence built in their kids. That's the number one thing we hear time and time again, is building confident kids.
Okay. So if that is the number one thing, let me get this again. If that's the number one thing, is this area right here, I do something that's called basically the first glance when I look at a video. Um, so on your website, actually, I went right to this, and then let me do it again. Actually, turn my head and come back. I kind of went to the video. You said it's auto playing too, so that would obviously get my attention, and then I would see this. So you may want to. I know you did the deal with bullies. Um, I think that's a good headline, but you might build something in 5 free videos, how to deal with bullies and build confidence, or something like that. You might want to build in more of what this is. If you're sure this is the number one reason people are coming to you. um, I think the bully thing is a great thing too, by the way. I think that will, if I was on your site, I would fill that out. That's what I was coming to your site for. But if you could incorporate some of this into that headline, 5 free videos, how to deal with bullies, and you could say, and it's hard to do here, uh, how to deal with bullies. And you might, I don't know what you could put up here. You might be able to put a little bit of a statement that says how to deal with bullies and instill confidence, character, and build strong families, or something, even into this area here, since this is your main call to action. Like, I didn't really see this headline much when I came to your site, is what I'm getting at. So you might want to also make that bigger font. The biggest thing I see here is the name of your business, Shorin Khan. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. How do you pronounce that? I'm going to mute you here. How do you pronounce it?
Unmuted.
Yeah, it is Shorin Khan Family Karate. That's correct.
Shorin
Well,
Khan.
since you
Okay.
got that up, Jeff, if you scroll down just a little bit below that video, we have a new logo that we recently came up with. A guy on Fiverr did that for us.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. So I was thinking about somehow maybe incorporating that into a new header up at the top, and then possibly, what would you think about how would that look if that was up there, but then maybe include like character, confidence, and all those things in the top header line, and get rid of the flag up at the top.
I like that a lot, actually. I like this logo. Really nice off Fiverr, by the way.
$5 on Fiverr. Yep.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It is really a good looking logo for $5. I remember in the days when I would spend $500 for a logo like that. Um, and you could potentially go back to this person as well and have them just build you out a header. I'm going to mute you again. I'm hearing myself echoing in my ear. Build out a header, and yes, incorporate more of this into it. Because right now your header kind of blends into this blue area. You might do something that pops out a little bit more. And again, the main benefit is not the name of the business, the Family Karate. It's helping you, what you just said, if that's the number one reason people are, you might even do a poll on Facebook. I see you've got people that like you. Like, what's the reason that you like our karate studio? And just give them the option to see what they tell you, because they may actually like you for another reason than what you actually think. Not that that's not the reason. I know in our local, I know I'm in karate here. Got a lesson here at 3:15. I go 3 days a week with my kids, and yes, that's a big reason that we're there as well, as what you just said there. So, and from talking to him, that's a lot of the reason that kids come in there too. So, let me look through here. So you're gonna have AdSense down there. You've done a lot of things right here. You've got your opt-in above the fold. I don't have to pull down to see it. I'm not going to watch the video right now, but you've got a video. which again is engaging. I would imagine not many karate schools have that in your area. Um, I don't know if you need all these different, you've got a lot of stuff up on top, and maybe there's a reason for that. Um, I don't know if events and schedule can, I would try to maybe combine some of this a little bit to have drop downs. In other words, there should maybe be 5 to 7 options up here. You already have dropped. I see you've got that here. If you can maybe just kind of squeeze some of those more together, that would be good. But man, your site looks pretty good. I don't really have. I really like your setup. I think it's going to convert. Yeah, you don't. I mean, I like that you don't have too much going on below the fold because you really want your action right here. You want people to opt in. One of the things you could do, just this is more not from an opt-in page, but like if you've probably seen it on if you've gone in any of my sales videos or anything, I always have the phone number too. And I don't know if you want phone calls in, but it kind of hovers or just have your phone number. Because even though it is, online presence, you're a local business. So I would think potentially having a phone number where people could call you pretty quickly too might not be a bad thing. Does that make sense? You probably get calls now, right? Unmuted. Does that make sense? You probably get calls now, right?
Yeah, we get several calls a day. Actually, that's a great idea. I like that. I'm taking notes here as fast as I can while you're talking.
Okay, and we're
Yeah, put the
recording.
phone number in the header area.
But it really looks, I mean, it looks really good. I think if you redo your banner, your header a little bit, I like your new logo. And then incorporate more of the benefits into here. I'm going to mute this again because it'll be easier. You may not need all these words right here. In other words, you might be able to, the other thing I might do is, I don't know why your Facebook plugin's not showing up right. It should. That's a good thing to have there. But you might be able to not have any of these words here and have your video be right against the header up here. And you can incorporate the main benefit, which is right in this statement, into your header. And then I wouldn't have to pull down as well because your YouTube video for me goes a little below the fold, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you want people to scroll down, that's a kind of a trick we've learned as well, is if you do want people to scroll down on your page, put a YouTube video that shows half on the fold and half below it, and people will pull down. But it's autoplay, so it doesn't matter as much. But it might be nice just to have it bumped up. It would balance this page out a little bit more. Let me look here. I don't think I would want a clickable, like have a testimonial here, but don't have a, let me see where this goes before I say don't do it. I mean, it's not, yeah, I mean, you could test not having a link to go to your testimonials page. Just have one testimonial. Um, Again, it's testing. It's like, it was Phil today. You know, we were on a call. Well, I'm on a call. He's right across the hall, but about should we do this or this or this? And I'm like, well, Phil, if it's just testing, let's just test it, see what works better. Um, you may not want to have 2 links right above your opt-in form to go away. In other words, if I came over here, I'm going to read here, but my eye kind of came up here. If I see a link, especially, I might click through. It's not necessarily a bad thing because it's taking you to testimonials. So I would just test without link and with link. I don't know if which is going to perform better. But if you could clear this out and bump your video up and incorporate more of your main benefit into your headline using this type of logo too, I like that a lot more. And if you're getting a lot of families, yeah, I think just having pictures. I haven't watched your video, so it'd be good to having pictures of other kids. I think I'll watch it a little bit or just fast forward through it. Let's see what. So it's you talking, kids. That's awesome. That's what I would want to see. I would want to see other kids already doing it. So that's what I'd have in my video. I'm not going to watch the video, but it looks like you have. It's you talking. You've got B-roll footage of adults, and it looks like youth doing karate. So I can visualize it. You might have two. I don't know what you do. We did this with the local karate school here, having some type of offer where the first, you know, I know you're trying to get the opt-in, but and I don't know what you do when they call in. This is actually getting off of just the website, but like a first month type offer, you probably have something. We did something here. I say we, it's not my karate studio, but we gave away a free uniform, and it was like 20 or 40 bucks or 50 bucks for the first month of karate to help generate some leads in off some other local advertising. And it seemed to work really. Actually, it's made money every time we run the ads. And I say we just because I talk to them a lot. It's not my business, but that has worked really well too. Do you guys do stuff like that now?
Unmuted.
You guys do stuff like that now?
Yes, we have a startup special. I think it's you caught me off guard. I think it might be under either register or under programs. It might even be on the schedule page. But I think listed in several spots on there.
Okay.
$75 startup gives you a month of karate and a uniform and a handbook and stuff. It's over $120 value.
Okay. So I'm going to mute you out a sec. So that's your offer. If that's your main offer, your business, I would not have it to where you're going to have to tell me where to go to find it. Have your opt-in. I don't know if you've added. There's a plugin called Pop-Up Domination, where if I go to leave this page, or not even when I go to leave it, when I come to it, I can have an opt-in pop up right away. Like I have it on jeffusner.com. It's called Pop-Up Domination. It's a nice plugin too that maybe you could use. I think it's a plugin. I'm using the word plugin, and I'm not the techiest person in the world. But it pops up and gets opt-ins that way. But your main offer about having a month of karate for I think you said $75. That might be something as well. You don't necessarily want to put that up front, but I don't, and that might be in your video too. So I apologize if it's in your video. Don't make that hard to find though, because if I'm not interested in bullies, like my kids aren't that I know of being bullied at school. I know it's a hot topic, but that's a bonus for people, and you would know your clients better. That's the thing. I just know for me that wouldn't have attracted me to fill out that form. And then what do? Maybe I go to your testimonials, and then I might watch your video. I'm not sure, but if you had some type of offer or some reason to call now, for the first 10 people or for 5 families a month, you can pick the number, what you want to do, stick to it. We also give away this extra bonus type thing, just giving people a reason to act right now on your site. In other words, you don't want them to just come here and yes, you want to get the opt-in, but I would also test this opt-in verbiage. If it's just bullies, but if your main benefit, like you just told me, is building character, you might have a couple videos you just shoot with your iPhone that's on helping you build character, confidence, and strong families, right? If that's your main benefit, I would say you probably should test something over here on that as well, because that I know that's something I would opt into. If my kids aren't being bullied, if they're being bullied, I'm definitely going to fill in your opt-in form. If I'm not, though, if my kids aren't, it's not going to interest me all that much. But if my main reason, and you found the number one reason that people come to your business is this, you should test it over here. And again, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time. That's where, like, even in the 30-day challenge, if you've been through that, I don't spend a whole lot of time developing out my back end offer till I find out what they actually want. So I won't go shoot a whole ton of videos. Usually, I've broken that rule before. I won't usually go shoot a lot of videos or create the content until I know exactly which headline pulls the best. And that's why I say just test. I think if you do the stuff I just told you, though, if you test it out, your site looks good, but it can get even better. So.
Unmuted.
Okay, that's awesome, Jeff. Thanks so much for
Okay,
your
awesome.
comments on there.
Awesome. Thanks for being on here.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Hope your family's doing well too. I just have a question here before we go. I'll do another site review as well, and I'll answer a few questions right now. It says, what's the best program for adding opt-ins and autoresponders for newbies that are not too tech savvy? If you're taking a 30-day challenge, if you might be in it, I don't know. If you are, yeah, I can't remember what day. Actually, I can tell you what day it's on. Day 11, we get into email, but we use GetResponse. Is an easy way to start building opt-in forms. It's real easy code to do, and it's really easy to use that system actually to send out emails, to watch your stats, and to see everything else what's going on. So that's what I would do. GetResponse is the one I'd be recommending right now. All right. Glad seems like more people are getting on, so that's good. Aaron is asking, what are the standard dimensions you build a page for? The question is, what are the standard dimensions you build a page for? I don't have any standard dimensions. For me, it comes back to step one of Reverse Online Profits, or we teach in the early going of the 30-day challenge. A lot of the first week is on finding a niche, finding a market, and really replicating something similar to what they're doing. I'm about the least technical person there is online. So for me, it's more finding something that works, getting it to, for me now, we have people that we have full-time in the Philippines. We've got a whole team over there, actually, that and you can learn. I teach a lot about that in Reverse Online Profits, how we hire them, all that type of stuff. But the bottom line is I've got a team that I'll say, here's a page. Just like as I went through the 30-day challenge, if you've watched how I talk to people on Fiverr, is the same way I talk to my team overseas. It's the same way I talk to my team right across the hall, which is, I want a site that looks like this, and here's the differences, the changes I want in it. I don't really pay attention to what the standard dimensions are. There probably is a standard dimension that we do. I don't know. I just want it to look like the one that I know is working. Don't know if that helped, Aaron. I'm just reading another question now. Somebody's just finished lesson 9, have site up with Aweber to get opt-in form up. No welcome or thank you page. This is what I'm struggling with. And maybe jumping ahead. This will be in a future video. It will. And if you're in a 30-day challenge, day 12, I go into landing pages, and then day 16 as well, I get more into the blog and other pages. So I do get more in depth into what do you build out as far as your main site. So to answer that question, the easiest way for me to answer that is stick tight. If you just finished 9, and if you have access to 12, skip ahead to 12. If not, it'll be to you here shortly. Again, I designed the 30-day challenge. You're welcome, Aaron. Thank you. I designed a 30-day challenge to just give a piece at a time to those of you that are in that right now, to not get overwhelmed. Because the number one reason I've found myself is just not getting results is I just get overwhelmed and then I just don't take action. All right. Let me see here. Paul Thompson. Paul, I'm going to try to unmute you. I don't know if you'll be available or not. Let's see. Paul, are you there? Yeah, if you don't have a mic or if you didn't call into the phone line, I won't be able to chat with you, but I'll talk with you via the questions area. I'm going to, let's go ahead. I got to get your site. Ideas. Oh, it's not up yet. Gotcha. Okay, well, Paul, I'm not sure what you're asking. You said my site. You gave me the domain name. Oops, sorry. You gave me your domain name, but I don't see anything up there yet. So, oh, there. Okay, I'm sorry. Now I see your question right before it. You're looking at a niche keyword, top gift ideas. You're looking at gifts.com. Passes through the green light system. I'm just trying to read you guys what he's asking since I can't unmute him. The question basically is he's looking at gifts.com. It passes the green light system. It shows up in Google Ads a lot. It passes the green light system. That's all awesome that we're doing that. When you look at a site and you see if you can replicate, what are the main things that you look at? So I'll answer that part of your question first. Let me pull up. Let's see. Whoops. Gifts.com. All right. So the main thing, to just give you the easy answer, there's that retargeting ad I talked to you guys about, SendGrid, right? I was on their site yesterday looking at their email service, and I got an ad now that shows me. That's a banner retargeting ad, just so you know. So gifts.com, if this is a site that passes the green light system, which I'm sure it is, you've done the research on that. To answer your question, what do I look to replicate? It just depends if I want to be in the answer to it is, do I want to be in the business that gifts.com is in? So if gifts.com is actually selling these products themselves, I don't know that yet. I can do a little research here. We'll find out. Then I need to ask myself, do I want to get into selling physical products and merchandising? And maybe I do. Or is gifts.com just that's the easy answer is, what are they doing? What's their main way that they make money? And do I want to do that? Do they have, is it like a traditional company where they're selling physical products, they have customer support, or are they just drop shipping them and they're kind of an affiliate through somebody else and they don't deal with that? So when I look at a site to see if I want to go after that market, I'm going to look at, do I want to be in that business? Right now, I'm looking at a few things that have come across our plate for opportunity. And it always comes down to, does it fit into what I want my business to look like? Like, in other words, 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, do I want to be running? Just like when I got into if you've watched the 30-day challenge, do I want to have a weddingwire.com? The answer is no. I really don't have much desire to be in the wedding business. Do I think it's a big niche? Yes. I think you can go and grow it and do a lot with it. And somebody would love doing that. There's a lot of people who would love doing that. For me, it's just something that, yes, I could go do money or make money with it, but it doesn't mean I'm supposed to. And you're going to find as you get moving, and you may just be looking for your first idea. And that might be where you're at, and that's awesome. But if you want to get into the business of gifts.com, then go do it. When you start learning more about what we're teaching, you're going to see there's a lot of opportunity on the internet. It's not a matter of can you make money on something. It's a matter of what do you want to make money in, is really what it becomes the question of. And what do you want your lifestyle to look like? I'm sorry. So let's just click around. I don't know anything about this site. St. Patrick's Day is coming up. So gifts.com. Let's see what they're all about. Ireland coin cufflinks. There's a SendGrid banner ad again, by the way. That's retargeting. Let me click on, I just want to click and see what they're doing here. So it looks like, so this looks like more he's an affiliate because he's selling basically Amazon.com. Now, the question I would have is, what I would look at with gifts.com before I even get it, I just went to his main site. So Paul, what I would look at is, how's he getting traffic to his site? That's, I believe, the second step. No, I'm sorry, that's the third step in the green light system. I'm sorry, the reverse online profits I teach, is how is he getting traffic? So if you did your research on that, in other words, is it coming from Google search traffic? If it is, what I would do is I would go to Google and I would make sure that if I'm looking at this website, that I'm coming into the website the way this business brings people into the website. Does that make sense? In other words, do they actually drive traffic to the first page of gifts.com? Maybe they do, I don't know, but maybe not. So what I would try to do is come into their site the way that they are directing me to come into their site. So how do I figure that out? There's another retargeting ad. Wistia versus YouTube. How do I figure that out? I simply, I use Compete. I use the Google Ad Planner. I use Alexa. I look at if I'm using Alexa, I look at the click stream. It shows me how people are getting to the site. It'll show me the top search term. Then I go back to Google Yahoo. I type in the search term and I look for them. If it says they're coming off, xyz.com, I go to that website and I look for the banner ad. I look for the ad that's driving me there, because I'm trying to recreate my experience to be the same as how they're making their money. Which I just wanted to give that disclaimer as I clicked into the, let's go back to, where was it? St. Patrick's Day. As I clicked into this, I'm not sure if this is the main way they drive traffic. I wound up on these cufflinks. We clicked on it, and then it actually shows that they're probably just an affiliate of Amazon.com. There's a tool I use too, by the way, called Live HTTP Headers. That's Live HTTP Headers. And let me see here. I wish I had this other screen. Let me hook up my other screen here, guys. 1 second. Now that we're off my PowerPoint, it will help me cruise around and do more stuff while I'm chatting with you as well. And let's see here. Sorry, trying to go back over here and pull this one up. Okay. Oops, pulled it over here. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. Bear with me. I've got two screens open and they're kind of flying all over the place. Oh, that's the wrong screen. You know I'm not the most technical person. You believe that now. Sorry. All right, here I am on Google, and I've got live HTTP headers. It's just something you use on Firefox, and I'm going to show you how I use it in a second and the reason I use it. There's also another one called Ghostery. If you've ever seen on my screen as I'm moving around, you'll see a bunch of different names pop down on this side. And it basically shows me all the different things firing on the site. So I can see where they're advertising, where they're buying media, that type of stuff. So all you would do to get this live HTTP headers is you have to have Firefox. As you can see up here, I'm surfing on Firefox. You would just click and you would download it. And what it does is, let's see here, sidebar, live HTTP headers. What it does is it opens up this sidebar. Now I've actually I'm on the wrong screen. Let's go to sidebar here, sorry. So I'm doing live HTTP headers. And all this does is when I click on this, it's going to show me everything that's happening to go to the next website. And it's already logging some Basecamp stuff because I'm logged into Basecamp. So as I click here, I'm going to click visit this site. And it's going to show me, it looks like all this is doing, and if I look here, gifts.com, I'm looking at the top page. It looks like all it's doing is redirecting me through an Amazon link. So I honestly don't know what most of the stuff on the left means, but what it allows me to do is go back and look at what was, sorry, it's still pulling stuff up because it's Amazon, so Amazon's got a lot of stuff. And it's showing me how did the click arrive at the website. And all this means is I'm trying to see where did it actually go through to get to Amazon. I imagine it probably went through an Amazon affiliate link. So again, I'm looking at, Paul, I'm answering your initial question. I'm looking for, and I'm just scrolling down. All I'm looking for is Amazon.com basically is what I'm looking for. It's pulling up a lot of Google Analytics right now. There's another gifts. And again, I have no idea what most of this code means. Scorecard research. There we go. There's Amazon. And when I pull it up, I'm looking for an affiliate link. And the reason I would know if it was an affiliate link, and I'm not as familiar with Amazon on this part, but you would usually see the words, like if you can see how this huge yellow thing is outlined. This isn't the best example for this. A lot of times it'll show like AFF or affiliate equals, and it'll show me the network or how they're getting this offer. So I could obviously just go become an affiliate of Amazon and promote those cuff links. So it doesn't apply as much for this because I already know it's Amazon, but I just wanted to show you, you can track what's going on to see if there's any information that you can find out about this offer. So I don't know if that made any sense at all. Hopefully this wasn't the best example for that. So in looking at this looks like, so my first example, it just looked like all they're doing is driving traffic to Amazon and making a percentage off of Amazon. So to answer your question, it goes back to, do I want to build this kind of business where they're just making money with Amazon? Here I am again. Let's just click. I want to click on another example to see if it's the same type of thing, because they may not all be Amazon. Looks like they are. So they're basically just an affiliate for these different, this is going to, I'm sorry, this isn't Amazon. This is Personalization Mall. So this is just basically a big, it looks like an affiliate site. So Paul, to answer your question, this could be a site I'd want to get into if I want to build out. This is a massive site. So the question would be, can I build out this site very easily? Or is this going to take me a lot of time to build this site out? This is not an easy site. So this would take a lot of time to build out, but it doesn't mean I couldn't do it. So I don't know if that helped you at all. The bottom line is, do you want to be in this business? Gifts.com. Do you want to set up a site that is set up just like this? And I don't know. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about it on the fly. It looks like they also make money off of, this looks like AdSense potentially down here. And this also looks like, I'm looking at the bottom, looks like AdSense as well. So they're making money off AdSense and just promoting affiliate products. So this could definitely be a site. This takes a lot of work to put together, but it doesn't mean it's not right. So how I would start this though, to answer your question, Paul, is I wouldn't start with all these categories. I would try to pick one and see if I can get one to work first, if that makes sense. If you try to build this whole site and try to link up everything before you ever get started, you'll never get started. So the best thing to do is just pick out, like, focus on birthday gifts. This is probably their top category. By the way, you can usually tell what's the number one thing on a person's website and what they make the most money with, especially on a gifts.com, by looking at the upper left nav bar and the first option below it. So men's birthday gifts is probably the number one thing that they have traffic for here. And why is that? It's probably because women plan ahead more than men. We usually get gifts last minute. I know that's stereotypical, but might be true to, I know it's true for me. Women tend to plan more. So they're probably online shopping for their husband for their birthday. And we're lucky if we remember anniversaries, that type of stuff. So the demographic of this site, if we were looking at the demographic, I bet it's at least 60% women. I don't know for sure, but looking at how the site's set up, it's probably pretty even. But the main demographic is definitely women shopping for men. I would try to see if I could make money competing with gifts.com. If anything, you could pick these 6 categories right here: presents for men for birthday, for groomsmen, retirement, congratulations, bachelor party, anniversary. The top 2, though, where they probably get most of their traffic, is probably birthday and anniversary, just to let you know. So you could just pick one, see if you can make birthday work, move the anniversary second, see if you can make that work. So I hope that helps. It's a long answer to that question, but hopefully you pick some other stuff up through that. All right, we had a technical issue, but you're with me. Okay. Oh, Paul, you're unmuted. Sorry, let's try this again. Okay, Paul, are you here?
Hi, Jeff.
Oh, I got you now. Sorry about that.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. I last, um, I got into like half of what you said. Probably I'll be able to listen to the entire call, later on in Profit Hub Pro. Um, but I got like some of the information you were giving, the top 2 categories that I could work on instead of trying to get into each and every one of those niches in there. Um, uh, Thank you, Jeff. But looking at this, like they have like a newsletter set up all the way at the bottom. Uh, when you look at a website like this, trying to get into a niche, based on the keyword that I had, like top gift ideas, that's what got me started into looking at this. And they were showing up a lot in Google. Weren't on Bing, so I was thinking like maybe I can target Bing and Google. And I registered the website just like a couple of minutes before the webinar. After going through a 30-day challenge, like now every second I think of like a different niche and I try to register the website domain right away.
Yeah.
And I have over like 17 websites that I registered. This is one of the things that I just thought of, and so when you look to see if you could replicate something, these are the things that you'd be looking at, like the top 2 categories, and see if you can make money off of that first before trying to get into it 100%.
Yeah, like I just came over here again. I wish I would have just done this from the beginning. But after studying their site, I went in, I typed in men's birthday gifts. I think you can see my screen. And gifts.com showed up on the right, which you already know that. You've already done this research. But you could just try competing, in this vertical to start to see if you can make money. And then see what I'm saying. Like, this brought me to a little different page than what I've seen already. Does that make sense? So if I was going to recreate this site, I would try to recreate it as close to the process that I just came through right now. Does that make sense?
Right, right. Now, would you do like as for I went through the 30-day challenge, Jeff, and built some of the other websites. On this one, would you consider putting like a blog and put like top 10 men's gift and stuff like that, and write some article along with it? Like, I'm not sure if these guys have a blog. I'm still looking at the site. There's a lot of content to consume in this. Like, would you also consider doing that on top of affiliate and AdSense and everything else?
Yeah, it looks like they do have a
Oh,
blog.
yeah, they do have a blog. No, see it.
That's probably to be Google compliant. I doubt they're posting something here every day, almost every day it looks like, or several times a day on some days. So you definitely could. You could also they have 101,000 fans on Facebook, so there'd be potential to target their fans and bring traffic from their fans to your site too.
Yeah.
I see that right here, 101,000 fans.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, though, if you got 17 sites, I'd pick one idea right now and start to move it forward. And you're like me. I've got a lot. I'm looking right now on the left side of my whiteboard. I've got 7 things. On the right side, I've probably got 15 different ideas. But it's about I want to get them in action, see what works. So this I think I didn't look at the traffic. I would imagine it follows the compete type thing where the green light system. So this could be a good thing to start. But what I would do again is I'd replicate similar to what they're doing right here. Like, how did they just get me here? I was on a search traffic. I typed in men's birthday gift and I came to this page. So you want to make sure that if you're advertising on Bing or Google or wherever, that you're bringing people to this type of page. Don't take them to an article or something like that. This is what's making money. They're definitely targeting women because women are more visual. So there's a lot more pictures in this type of they're more like Pinterest is a very female driven demographic. And the reason it is they love pictures on the internet.
Right.
So that's the feel I get from this as well.
So the landing page should be something that displays all these affiliate links to Amazon and other sites, not the blog, is what you're saying, right?
Yes, I would replicate what they're doing to make money. So
Okay.
to answer your question, yeah, I would just do what they're doing.
I had one other question regarding this, Jeff. I looked at the same thing on Compete and also on keywordspy.com,
Mm-hmm.
and that was showing that they have consistent traffic, and same as Compete. It showed like daily ad budget for these guys were like 7,721. Does that mean like they spend that much every day, and I would have to spend more to compete with this kind of niche?
Number one, Keyword Spy is not that accurate on the daily spend.
Oh,
I would imagine they do spend. What was their traffic like on this? Do you remember? Did they get like 1 million a month to this site, or 2 million, or more?
wow, it was like let me go to Compete. I had it pulled up. It was like this month it was like 1,784,968.
Yeah, that's what I'd guess. I would have guessed in that range. So, if you think if it's all paid traffic, let's say they did 1.5 million people at 20 cents a click, that's 300,000 a month is what they could be spending. Do you have to spend that to compete? No, you start competing with whatever you want to compete with, $5 a day, right? You don't have to. You start where you're at, and then you build up from there. There's
Okay.
niches that I'm in. I mean, they're big niches that I'm not trying to like go toe to toe with a gifts.com like on their full spend. But if I can, target one little part of it and make money with it, if I spend $100 online today and make 200 back, that means I netted out $100. That's a win for me, and I'm gonna move forward, and try to grow it from there. But I'm not gonna try to do it all at once. That's why I said pick one part. This is a very big site. Pick one area that you would like to go after. You could even have your site focused just on men's gifts, not even categories to start. You had a good domain where you could do that, and then later if it really starts working you start adding in other categories. But right now you could just really focus on just men's birthday gifts or something like that, because that's probably their number one traffic. I'm not on Compete, but I imagine, or Keyword Spy, but it's probably their number one trafficked word or one of the top 10 based on the way their site's laid out.
That's
So
really good advice, Jeff. So I'm gonna focus on the first two categories, like you said. But as far as the domain name that I registered, should I need to get like something specific to men, or I could use the same domain and just leave those,
no, you
see
can
how it
use
goes?
whatever. You can use the domain you had. You don't have to do anything specific. I mean, gifts.com isn't man or, isn't feminine or masculine. It's just a domain name. So you wouldn't need one or the other.
Thank you so
Yep.
much, Jeff. Really
All right,
appreciate it.
Paul. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks again.
Awesome. Okay, y'all. That's going to be it for this week's Pro Call. I appreciate everybody being here. I'm just looking through for any last second questions. Um, Again, we're very active in the Facebook group, so if you have questions that didn't get answered here, I'm sure there are a bunch, and we had technical issues. If you're watching the recording of this because you couldn't get on the live one, I apologize. Ask your questions in the Facebook group. I'm on there pretty much every day except Sunday, answering questions, and other members are helping out a ton too. thank you for everybody who's been helping each other. That's a great thing to see as well. I know Christopher Brown's been doing a ton, so thanks, Christopher, for that. And other people as well have been helping. So go there and get your questions answered. But I'll see you on next week's. This recording will be up probably by tomorrow. And I'll see you on the next call. Thanks a lot. See you guys.